Hey there everybody. For my students, this is coming from lesson 42 in our book, the Algebra 1 book. It's on solving multivariable equations. Now, even if you're not using that book, this is still good information. You're going to be doing the same thing in other books, although it might be a different lesson and a different title. Up until this point, anytime we've been doing algebraic equations, we've been doing single variable equations. Just one variable, x or y, z, whatever it is. And we're trying to rearrange things so that we can get that one variable, we can find out what it equals. Well, multivariable equations are the same thing, only they have more than one variable. They might have an x and a y and a z. And so we're going to solve them based on one variable. And usually in the problem, it's going to ask us which one to use. It's going to say solve for y. And so our answer is going to be y equals some semblance of variables. And so we're going to try a few of these right now. The steps are actually the same as doing a single variable equation. The only difference is when we get our answer, it's not going to be x equals just a number, but it's going to be x equals a number with some variables. And this is actually going to get us prepared for a little bit further ahead when we start doing what's called linear equations, because those are multivariable equations. So we're going to look at a couple examples right now, and hopefully it'll help you at home. All right, I took one of the examples from our book here. It is 6y minus x plus z equals 4. And for this one, it's asking us to solve for y. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to rearrange the equation right here so that we end up with y equals something. I don't know yet. I need to figure it out. So what we're going to do is everything that has a y in it, we want to leave on the left side of the equation, the left side of the equal sign. Everything else, we want to move over to the right side. So that means 6y is going to stay over here on the left side. That's where we want it. Everything else that does not have a y is going to move over to the right. So we've already got this positive 4 over here on the right. That's good. We want it over here. That's a good place for it. We're going to move these other jokers over there too. This minus x, it needs to be over there as well. And remember, anytime we move something to the other side of the equation, we change its sign. So I move minus x over, it becomes plus x. And I move plus z over, and it becomes minus z. So I've rearranged it. Now it says 6y equals 4 plus x minus z. And that's good, but it's not quite everything, because I don't want to know what 6y equals. I want to know what y equals. I'm solving for y. So I need to do something with this 6. Remember what this means. This means 6 times y. So to get rid of that times 6, we divide it by 6. In fact, we divide everything by 6, because whatever I do to the left side of the equation, I do the same thing to the right. When I divide, 6 divided by 6 cancels out and leaves just y, which is what I want. And then over here, I have some interesting division going on. I've got 4 divided by 6. Now, since that doesn't divide evenly, I just make it a fraction, 4 over 6. Now, the fraction 4/6 I can reduce to 2/3. As for these other ones, I have plus 1x divided by 6. I can write that as a fraction also. Plus 1 divided by 6, x. It's the fraction 1/6 x. Minus the same thing, 1 divided by 6, z. 1/6 z. And now I've solved the equation for y. Y equals 2/3 plus 1/6 x minus 1/6 z. Let's look at another example. This one's going to be done the same way. We're just going to rearrange things until we get y equals something. If we want to, we could simplify our left side of the equation first by combining our like terms. That means I could do 5y minus 2y. That equals 3y. I could also do positive 1x plus 3x. That equals positive 4x. And I'll still have a minus 4 in there. This entire equation still equals 0. So all I've done so far is simplified. I combined my like terms of y. I combined my like terms of x. and I left the equation pretty much the same. We can still solve it the same way as our first example. We'll leave everything with y on the left side, move everything without y over to the right side, and that'll give us something like this. 3y equals, and we'll move positive 4x over. It will become negative 4x. We will also move minus 4 over, and it will become positive 4 or plus 4. So I have most of what I need at this point. I still have one last thing to do though. I need to divide everything by 3 so I can know what y equals. So we'll divide everything by 3. 3's cancel out here, and y equals negative 4/3 x, we write it as a fraction, plus 4/3, plus 4/3. So we have solved for y. Y equals negative 4/3 x plus 4/3. We don't know it yet, but we've actually just written the equation for a line, a linear equation. So these problems are preparing us for those so that later on when we get to them, we'll know how to solve for y, we'll know how to set up the equation for a line, and later on we'll actually start graphing those lines. So hope this helps. Y'all work on them, get some practice in, and we'll move on to the next lesson as soon as we get a chance. Hope y'all are enjoying Aftermath, and I'll see y'all later.